Sam, thank you so much for joining us. So first, let's start by looking at the issues affecting the displaced persons and how these humanitarian efforts can actually help douse those challenges.
Well, traditionally, a lot of issues affect displaced persons, but primarily there is this unseen or unhidden side of the psychosocial, a lot of mental health issues and complications, which you may not quite see visibly. But overall, once you're uprooted from your community or you're displaced to some other place, it takes a whole lot to even adjust. Even if you are going to be on food 3 square a meal, meals per day or whatever. So there are lots of these issues recently, like in Benue, in a camp. We just heard of a lot of births. A lot of children have been giving birth, lots of pregnant women and that. So there are a whole lot of issues. But I think the key thing here is there is significant level of state commitment or state involvement with the civil society, with the community, and a lot of volunteers and public-spirited individuals. Although this goes on daily and there is obvious demonstrable level of saying, hey, there's some food or there is some medication or there is that. This cannot be taken to mean that it's all over because like I've always noted, the moment you hear of displaced person, just know that the people you are seeing that are being called displaced could be, the number you are not seeing is higher because there's always a way people find around other community levels of assistance. Some individuals take up these IDPs who could be their relations. Some go and stay with schools and churches and that, and may not reflect the numbers you see in the camp. There are certainly lots of issues. But the one that is more bothering to me is the fact that there is a yearning, there's anxiety, there's this curiosity to go back home, to go back home, to go back home. And though some security efforts are being put in, but we are not seeing that so much. There should be a very concrete step of working up in some week or some months to see that there's a heavy movement of people back to their ancestral places. To me, that's the most predominant issue. Although sadly, the rains are almost gone, but we just need to do that. And I believe if there is a strong effort, the farmers can go back and cash in on still cropping a bit of some 2 months, 3 months crops they can feed on.
Earlier on, you talked about the fact that this affects most especially newborn babies. Let's look at the people that are hardest hit by these crises and these displacement issues. How would you describe their conditions? And do you think that these humanitarian materials or reliefs being given to them are adequate to help them get by?
Well, I've always said it at different fora. No amount of humanitarian effort or material or intervention can be taken to be sufficient. It just can't, because you are in a straitjacket. You're not eating particularly what you would have loved to eat, even if what you are eating, some food is given to you. So yes, a lot of efforts are coming, quite commendable. In fact, particularly I think the Benue State Government has been all out directly, and a lot of efforts are coming. But let me tell you that this cannot be adequate. Even when you talk to the IDPs, because we relate with them directly, some of them, we have connections to them in various ways. They tell you that they are not being fed correctly. Rightly or wrongly, you discover that, yeah, they also have a point they are making, because if I'm giving rice and beans and maybe I have a craving to eat a meal that is XYZ, and I cannot have it because of my situation, we can take it that any humanitarian effort may be adequate. But I cannot undermine that a lot of support has come in, and the IDPs also have commended lots of these efforts that trickle in from individuals, from organizations, and also from the government. But fundamentally,
okay.
no, this is not your question. The issue
Okay.
at stake is, how do we go back? How do they go back? Is the situation correct for them to go back because they want to go back?
Yeah, before we even talk about these people going back to their various homes and localities, you talked about security a while ago, and that would also include access to the IDP camps by these humanitarian groups. Now, are they and the government able to reach these people that need help? And are some areas left behind in this humanitarian cause?
It's a 50-50. You know, one cannot answer, give answers in very adequate format. The way your question looks straight, I should have answered you straight. I know that there is still inaccess, largely, because the IDPs that might have been registered or not registered, but are not staying in camps, you know, it's a whole lot of issues trying to access them in the various locations they are. Some are living very far from the camps or where these food storage facilities are. So yes, 50-50. That's all I can say, because even in the very camp, some complaint. I have met those who have said, maybe I was not giving adequate ration, but XYZ was giving adequate ration, and that there have been these issues. But you know that these are human factors, may not have anything to do with the government necessarily or the people that are sending this aid. It could be the operational staff sometimes.
Okay, now let's quickly go back to the possibility of these affected people going back to their ancestral homes and lands. We've often heard that security is lean and they can't provide adequate safety for the vast lands. Are there any quick fixes to see that these people are able to return to their homes and to their farms?
Yeah, there are quick fixes. And some of these fixes are on to some extent, like government trying to facilitate that lands are made available for the IDPs to crop on, so that at least some semblance of they are trying to get back their livelihoods is in place. But again, one quick fix could be the government, that is the federal government of Nigeria, the security agencies, they have the capacity to comb certain areas and free them and declare such lands available for farm, so that implements can go in and some farming can take place and the IDPs can be allocated spaces in those vast lands. I'm talking about the same very land at the border areas largely that are the most arable land that needs to be cropped. This is, as a farmer, I can tell you with security guarantees, we can even have some 100 hectares, some 500 hectares clear in a short run, because there are some crops, there's some beans that does in 2 months. There are a lot of things that are still on that the IDPs can try on. So that could be a quick fix, but it requires the security clearing the space, ensuring, and I keep saying, nothing should be too costly to get an IDP connect back to his or her livelihood. So what is the big deal, even if these lands that will be cleared by the security are even manned 24/7 by the same security? Nothing wrong. It's a quick fix. Very, very a good quick fix. Because the government has tractors, individuals have tractors. There are inputs that can be deployed in large numbers on this area.
All right, thank you so much, Sam Agwa. We hope that much help will be rendered to these victims of disasters and killings, and of course, a flood in those affected areas. It was nice talking to you on the news. Thank you.